French female. Come here, mister. Come here. Come on.
Thank you. So this puppy is new to us and new to this environment. And look how well she's doing. Wow. Pushing through that huge stressor completely on her own. Good job. I don't even have a chance to sit down. Yeah. Wow, you're doing such a good job. Look at you. So we are seeing, a little bit of a lower body orientation. And, she's just a little bit unsure, but she's doing a great job pushing through it on her own, which is huge. It's wonderful. It shows a nice level of confidence and independence in this puppy. And although it was a direct approach to me, you can see her now, she's investigating a little bit. Good job. Wow. You have a lot of energy. Yes, you do. So with a puppy that comes in like that has so much energy, you can imagine that the more excitable people are in her environment, the more excited she's going to get, right? So you have to make sure to monitor your own body language, your movement, your energy, if you want your puppy to stay calm. Yes, this is a very good job. Very nice. So there is some environmental focus and social focus, but definitely higher social focus. Really wants to do something with me and wants to get to know me. So we have to make sure we do our crate training at night and throughout the day a little bit as well, every day, because she has to realize she can't always be with you. And the nice thing is, because you're buying her from very good breeders, she's used to people coming and going as it is, so you're just going to continue that in your own home. Good job. I like how you check things out and come back and see me. Yeah, it makes me feel special. It makes me feel special. Yeah. So the next game is a great game. Put some toys around a room, and what you're going to do is walk around, and you want her to investigate and you want her to check in with you. And ultimately it's setting her up so that later on when she's out socializing or you bring her somewhere, she could investigate things in the environment and then she'll check in with you on her own. That's a lot better than always being the one to chase after your dog. So if you start this off when they're young, you play this, oh, excuse me. You play this in a quiet area, and then you bring it to an area where there's a little bit more going on, and you keep building on it with more and more stimuli in the area. Ultimately, you're setting her up to be conditioned to come to you, on her own, no matter what's going on. She's just going to check in with you. So it's a really wonderful bonding game. So I'm going to show you how it's done. There, she's checking things out. That's very good. Good job. Thank you. We don't ask for a sit. We just quickly... Yay! Make her feel really good about coming to you. What's this? Encourage her to check things out. Oh, are you doing your whittling? What's this? Very good. Keep walking. So I want her to check things out. I don't want her to be glued to me the whole time. Good. So sometimes I need to engage that. That's a very good job. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You are so cute. So for this puppy, the challenge is going to be getting her away from you to investigate things. And that's important to do. It's all part of socializing, right? Yes. Good. Very good. Yeah. Very nice. So she's super sweet. Yeah. We're going to go on to our elevation. I got her. Drop. Whoopee. There we go. Very nice. When you consider that excitability that she was feeling and that she settled right down when I held her, that's nice patience and tolerance in that puppy. So let's make sure to maintain those traits and raise her in a way that we nurture those traits. And you do that through the Happy Puppy Training Kit, through that fundamental of training. So she's engaged, she's curious, she's focused. That was very nice. Hey. So I don't want her to just check things out and go off and do her own thing. I want her to come to me and celebrate her successes. So sometimes you have to go back and do it again and get that feedback from her. Oh, look at you. Good job. This is a very good job. Yeah. All right, we'll go on to our treats, the food rewards. So we've seen that verbal praise and patting go a long way with this puppy. And food rewards are great too. It's all part of our primary rewards. We figure out what works for each puppy. And she's getting really excited when she smelled the treat. So what you might find is that she gets too excitable when you bring out the food. And if that's the case, you're going to have to go and use something that's not quite as stimulating for her. So maybe something like a piece of kibble or a vegetable when you're teaching her. And then once she gets the hang of it, you could reintroduce these really nice treats again. The reason that's important is we need to set our puppies up for success. So if she gets too excited to focus and you're asking for a sit, you're going to get frustrated, and so will she. Oh, that's very good. She's processing there. Very nice. So she was able to process. She was figured out how to get the obstacle out of the way. She stayed focused and she's eating the treat. So that's all very good. Those are all the little tests that you do to ensure that you're setting her up for success, right? Aw, she's cute. Good girl. That's a very good job. There's still a piece. Do you want it? Yeah, good job. Are you done? Is that yummy? Hmm? Good girl. Yeah. Okay, we'll go on to our sound sensitivity. Sound. Wow, great reaction. Good recovery. Look at her coming over here and totally recovering on her own. Wonderful. Very nicely done. This whole litter, they're wonderful with the sound sensitivity. What's this? Good. Very good. Yeah. Okay. What's this? Yes. Good job. Good job. Yeah. So we expose to different stimuli. Very good. And then we celebrate her successes. So that's a really nice leadership trait. And if you do that socializing and that exposing when they're little to a whole bunch of different things, then you set yourself in the position of being the one that's kind of setting the pace on things, and you know, a good leadership role, and it's a good bonding opportunity too. Good. Okay, we're going to go on to our last exercise, the prey drive. So very focused, taking her a little while to grab it. We see a really quick grab and super high prey drive there. I'd kind of peg her at a medium to a high. There we go, now she grabbed it and she's got it. So because of the amount of focus, what you're going to do is you're going to be practicing your exercises daily through the Happy Puppy Training Kit. Some of the exercises are the leave it and the watch me. So you're going to use those cues and redirect her attention to you before she gets focused on things. So, you know, a leaf blowing by or a squirrel running by or whatever it may be, you've got to teach her that her job is not to chase after these things or focus on these things. Instead, it's to look to you for direction. So if you practice it when she's young and you practice it often, then you're going to be teaching her. And you know, you are going to have difficulties and struggles sometimes with that. But that's okay, it's just a matter of making it so that your timing's a little bit better, and you just keep practicing those exercises. So she's really sweet, she's a lot of fun. We're done. Good job.